Can you see the screen? Hello. आवाज आ रही है? Hello. Okay. Can you respond somebody? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now tell me, is the screen visible or not?
Visual, sir.
Yeah, good. So today we will see another topic, that is roots of unethical behavior. And as I already mentioned in the previous class, that roots of unethical behavior is one of the leftover topics of Unit 2 in the syllabus. So we will see what are the roots of unethical behavior, right? What can be the sources that can generate some unethical behavior, and how would it impact upon different aspects of our life, right? So we will see that what are the roots of unethical behavior, but before that we need to have a brief overview of the unit 2. And the unit 2 contains a number of relevant topics that we already completed, like principles of personal ethics, principles of professional ethics, and the differences between these two types of ethics, how ethics evolved, how ethics developed, evolution of ethics over the years, what happened in the 1960s, then 70s, then what are the changes that led into a different rise of ethics in 90s, and even the kind of ethics that is in the air in contemporary life. So there is a chain of historical chain of ethics that definitely helped us to understand the genealogy, to understand the lineage, the patronage of ethics as well. And the next is honesty, integrity, and transparency. These are the touchstones of business ethics. You should have these touchstones with you whenever you deal with any kind of business ethics, right? And then we had a distinction between values and ethics. Now we will look at roots of unethical behavior, and the last part would be about ethical decision making. Now, so if we see, regarding roots of unethical behavior, I have a quotation collected from somewhere. I don't know the name of the author, but it is very important to know, because this single line encapsulates the complete view of ethics, as it says that even the most rational approach to ethics is defenseless if there isn't the will to do what is right. Okay, so there must be will to do something. There should be a good will, as I talked about Kantian philosophy of ethics, right? Kantian talked about, Kant talked about goodwill. There must be goodwill. Okay, so that is the point. Even the most rational approach to ethics is defenseless unless there is a goodwill attached to it. Right. So that is what we need to sensitize in our mind. We need to keep in our mind. Okay. Now, if we move on, then we can see the important aspect of ethics, that is roots of unethical behavior. Why do we need to know about it? Because definitely if we can get the access that where are the roots of unethical behavior, then you can easily cut off the roots and become ethical, isn't it? That's why we need to know the roots from which unethical desires, unethical life, unethical emotions, unethical demands or expectations are, emanating. So now we will take up points one by one. Number one, people often wonder why employees indulge in unethical practices, such as resorting to lying, bribery, bribery मतलब रिश्वत लेना या देना, coercion, coercion means physical force, or you can say kind of yes, I mean physical force in the form of legal physical force, maybe police, army, law, punishment, jail, all the legal physical punishments that are called coercion, conflicting interest, etc. Okay, we have to, uh, take care in our mind that we should not indulge in all these unethical practices. Right. So, what are those practices? Just for example, to name a few, like resorting to lying. Like something has happened with you, and you started lying someday, and you are bound to continue lying all the time because there is no way out. So, to to enclose one lie, you start resorting to an endless number of lies to many people. So this is quite unethical. And bribery, obviously, coercion, as I mentioned, and conflicting interest, differences in opinions about interest, right? Differences in opinions about interest. See, there is a basic difference between uh, misunderstandings and difference, because no, I should not say difference between these two, I should say there is a thin line between differences and misunderstandings. Okay. And one important idea that we keep in mind, uh, you know uh, misunderstandings can be cleared up, differences cannot. Okay, so first you need to pinpoint that is it about misunderstanding or is it about difference. Misunderstandings can be cleared off, but differences cannot, be it of any kind, be it between two persons, be it between two culture, to language, to nation, to philosophy, to idea, to everything. Yes, sir. Okay. So, uh, what I am saying that there is a thin gap. So it, yes, but doesn't matter that if there is difference, that difference cannot exist. Obviously, difference definitely exist, because you need to. If you can accept the difference, then definitely that difference may seem beautiful as well. Okay, but the moment you try to manipulate the difference on your own way, it will no longer look beautiful or helpful at all. Okay, so keep the difference as it is and celebrate the difference, enjoy the difference as it is. The moment you try to individualize the difference, I mean to say, you are trying to mold the difference in your own way, immediately, uh, the comfortability will change. Okay, and you will no longer feel what should I say, you will no longer feel attached to that difference. So keep the difference as the difference itself. Okay, so if you consider all these things, then definitely I am talking about ethical approach, ethical thinking, ethical manner, ethical behavior, ethical expectation. Okay, ethical goal. You become an engineer and you doing some antisocial job that is not at all expected. That completely goes beyond ethics. Okay, so ethical thinking, ethical purpose, everything should come from a good, proper, ethical perspective. So that's all about the first point. Now, if we look at the next point, let me see. Many people are, I think, trying to join. Okay, so actually, what I want to say for the latecomers, try to join in the given time. It becomes very disturbing to switch over my PPT page and Google Meet page. So, see, this is very much disturbing. Okay, so whoever are coming late, I want to tell you that from the next class after 12:05, I won't accept anybody's presence. Okay, after 12:05, I will wait for 5 minutes because it's very disturbing to continue switching over my PPT page to Google Meet page. It's very disturbing. So, right, and be punctual. I cannot continue switching over one page to another page for half an hour. Anyway, so I was talking about ethical thinking, behavior, approach, mindset, that's all. Now, coming to the next point, that is, there are certain factors that make the employees think and act in unethical ways. Some of the influencing factors are: number one, pressure to balance work and family. This is something that today is crying in pain with, actually. Okay, because nowadays we can see most of the people, most of the families, the family partners work in their different places, right? That the husband also works and the wife also works in different places. Both of them are serving to their workplaces for the complete working hours from morning to afternoon. Okay, so that's how problem occurs. That it's very it becomes very difficult to make a balance between private sphere and professional sphere. Okay, so that is a kind of pressure that most of the people are experiencing nowadays, and somehow you become unethical to family, somehow you become unethical to workplace. Okay, in many ways you can exemplify it, you can have example upon it. Like for some cause of say unavoidable reasons in the family, you come late in the workplace, or for some unavoidable works of the workplace, you go back to your family late. Right. So that's how pressure goes on. So sometimes it's pressurizing, to make a balance between work and family, to make a balance between private sphere and professional sphere. And here we have to be a little bit skilled, we have to be little bit time bound, and ethical as well. Okay, so see, this is how here unethical behavior may come, here unethical thinking may come. Okay, next is poor communications. Now, if you don't have effective communication with others, be it your friend, be it your parent, be it your, uh, you know, anybody, your relative, your teacher, your seniors, your juniors, your close relative, your distant relative, your virtual friends. Nowadays, it's very hype. Okay, your online advisors, uh, online anonymous friends of Facebook, maybe non-existent friends that they exist digitally, but actually they may not exist as well also. Okay, many cases have been found out that the people, are following so many anonymous friends in the Facebook, but ultimately it has been known that there are no such people at all. These are non-existent fake accounts. So anyway, so I'm talking about poor communications, that there must be a reciprocal, interactive communication. Otherwise, ethics will not work in that kind of relationship. Ethics should work. Ethics to work. Ethics to function. Ethics constructively. You need to have. You need to make your communication lively. Okay, poor leadership. Leadership has to be strong. Leadership has to be constructive, not bossy. Okay, there is also a thin line between leader and boss. Boss is just throw orders, but leadership leads the way. Okay, leadership is constructive. Okay, so poor leadership can be one of the roots of generating unethical behavior. Okay, so there must be a constructive, appropriate, I should say, holistic leadership. Next is long work hours, heavy workload. Yes, अगर बोला जाए कि तुमको 9 से 5 बजे तक ही काम करना है, लेकिन 9 से 5 बजे के काम करने के बाद 4 या 4:30 बजे तुमको एक दूसरा काम दे दिया गया, जो काम तुम 7 साढ़े 7 बजे के पहले ख़त्म ही नहीं कर सकते, और वो तुमको करके उसी दिन उसी टाइम ही देना है, एंड यू हैव टू गो बैक होम. And if it continues, if this kind of extra uh, unpredictable workload continues in your daily life, then you will lose your interest in the work, and there are enough chances to become unethical in the work. You will just pass off the papers, you will not do the work right properly. So long work hours, long heavy workload should be given with terms and conditions, in order to know, in order to have a sensibility with the employees. Okay, that yes, these are the works that he or she can do, these are the works he or she can do, but not today itself, but in other days. Okay, this is how terms conditions can be applied. But complete long work hours or heavy workload may seem burdensome for the employees, and that can generate unethical thinking, that can generate unethical behavior. Next is lack of management support. Obviously, management support is if it is with you, you will enjoy your work. If management support doesn't, shake hand with you, then you definitely you will no longer enjoy the work. You will be sidelined automatically, and you will feel secluded from the majority of the group, and that will be the place something that will generate that can generate unethical behavior. Next is pressure to meet sales or profit goals. Okay, again, this is a part and parcel in corporate offices or in any kind of marketing offices. Next is little or no recognition of achievements. You are giving your back breaking labor all the days for the complete months after months after months, but you are not rewarded at all, neither your work is appreciated. What kind of feeling you will experience at that time? So reward is very important to garland you. If you get the rewards, reward is not just like something that people will appreciate your work, people will talk about your work, people will shake hands with your work, people will know you, people know that you are hardworking. So that kind of appreciation, sometime in terms of in individual, sometime in group, sometime at the relation of hierarchical level, these are the word rewards, these are the appreciations. If that come, definitely you will enjoy your work. And if you don't get any kind of appreciations, you will lose your interest soon. Next is company politics again. Politics is everywhere. It's not like that politics only refer to in the government bodies or in the political parties. There is only politics. No, no, no. Politics is everywhere. Politics exists everywhere, and politics exists in what should I say? Politics exists in friendship, politics exists in any kind of relationship, politics exists in even bedroom as well. Okay. Next is personal financial worries and insufficient resources. Personal financial worries. Again, this is one of the very important factors that give rise to the unethical behavior, right? If you have some personal financial setbacks or one personal financial uh, you know mm, needs, then that can be also something that may make you unethical at certain aspects. And insufficient resources, so again, okay, so these are the roots of unethical behavior. You need to remember all these roots. You should make a note of it. If not, then I forgot to tell you, that is already posted this whole PPT in your Google Classroom. Okay, and within that PowerPoint material for references heading, I just added this. Okay, it was you won't find it in a new material section, but within the PowerPoint references you will get it. I just added in the list of them. Okay, so you must take a look at after the class. It will definitely of great help for you for further references. Now, if we look at why should a business एक्ट एथिकली, राइट, कि ज़रूरत क्या है बिजनेस को एथिकली एक्ट करना, ऐसा क्या ज़रूरत है? ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज़रूरत है, नहीं तो देयर विल बी सो मेनी financial insecurities. There can be financial disabilities may happen. Okay, if I tell you, I can give a important reference in 1929, I think, if I'm not mistaken. There is in New York and Chicago. There was a New York stock market crash. Okay, stock market crash, very world famous. After that, the world Great Depression takes place, and people, people were dying, people were starving, unemployment, rises like anything. So, and those things happened mostly from some unethical interventions. Okay, so that was just the historical part that you can take a reference as well. That was 1929 stock market crash. Okay, now you can see, that is why should business act ethically. Number one, to protect its own interest, obviously. Next, to protect the interests of the business community as a whole, that the public will have trust in it. If the business as a foundation is not ethical, then how people will trust on it, how people will rely on your products, how people will rely on the ingredients that has made the product that people will use. Okay, to keep its commitment to society, to act ethically. Okay, and next, to meet stakeholders expectations, to prevent harm to the general public. You will never launch any kind of product that can be harmful for you. You can nowadays in the newspaper columns, if you just take your glass and look at the pages of the corners in the different columns of the newspapers, you can easily see that nowadays I heard somewhere, and I looked also somewhere in some of the newspapers in Indian Times of India, that many people are dying actually. I actually forgot the where it has happened. In different states actually it has happened, that many Coca-Cola drinks actually, be it Mazda, Sprite, and all those things, any Coca-Cola drinks actually made so many people die. So many people died of drinking Coca-Cola drinks, and the whole family died actually. Okay, the family was enjoying and partying, and so many people died of drinking those Coca-Cola drinks actually, and no other poison or something is found. Nothing like that. It is as if is understood that Coca-Cola drinks are having some uh, problems. Okay, problems in ingredients, and the companies are held responsible, and they are under different questionnaire and scrutiny, and these things are going on. Okay, I forgot in which state it has happened, but it has happened right now, just 2 days before. Anyway, so now why I said this, because you should know this, and it is applicable in this particular case as well. That you should not prevent to prevent, actually, to prevent harm to the general public. You should not cause any kind of harm to the general public. Okay, you should be careful, you should be sensitive to the usability, to the utility of the products that you are going to set free in the market. Okay, next is see if the medicines that are coming in nowadays, people are saying, okay, this is COVID free, or for these are the medicines for COVID and all. People are taking, and if there are some problem occurs, then what will happen? So there has to be ethics in medicine. Okay, so to build trust with key stakeholder groups, next, to protect themselves from abuse of unethical employees and competitors. Okay, so you need to be protective about your image as well, to protect your their own reputations. Okay, suppose you are working in a particular company, you should not act any kind of work that will go against your ethics. If you are held responsible, then the whole company will, the image of the whole company is subject to, guilt. To protect their own employees and to create an environment in which workers can act in ways consistent with their values. Some moral values should be there while working. If you are head of your department in the office, then you need to take care of your stuff. Okay, so this is how business acts ethically. Okay, and these are the points that we need to keep in mind. Next is ethical decision making, the last topic of the unit 2 of the syllabus. Ethical decision making. Decision making, we know, some of the students who have learnt in ETC, effective technical communication subject, we talked about these things, and GD, group discussion, decision making, how to make decisions and all. Now, ethical decision making. What is ethical decision making? Ethical decision making is a very tough prospect in this dog eats dog world. Okay. However, in the long run, all will have to fall in and play fair. The clock is already ticking for the unscrupulous corporations. Okay, so it has to be ethical decision. Otherwise, as I use the same word, that if you play unethical, unethical will boomerang you someday. Next point. In this age of liberalization and globalization, the old dirty games and unethical conduct will no longer be accepted and tolerated. That's why, people want to see you. People want to see you in person. Okay, doesn't matter the heap of documents that you have received, that you have achieved, but the image that you are, the personality that you are, the live experiential, the mind, the presence of mind that you have, that cannot be seen in any document. The presence of mind will be seen only with the presence of mind live. Okay, so these are the things that are very much necessary nowadays. Only, digitally printed papers will not certify your quality. Norman Vincent Peale and Kenneth Blanchard have prescribed some suggestions to conduct ethical businesses. So these are the names that are, uh, you can say, kind of examples to learn about ethical decision making. Okay, Norman Vincent Peale and Kenneth Blanchard. They prescribed some suggestions to conduct ethical business. Some of them are like, is the decision you are taking legal? If it is not legal, it is not ethical. See, these are point of views. People may agree or disagree, but there are some justifications about agreement or disagreement. Is the decision you are taking legal? If you think that this is ethical point of view, but this is not legal, then there will be so many practical, social, legal problems. If it is legal, then it will be considered ethical. If it is not legal, it will not be considered ethical. Next is the decision you are taking fair? In other words, it should be a win-win equitable risk and reward. ऐसा रिस्क लेना चाहिए कि यू आर 200% श्योर, तभी मतलब विन विन फील आना ज़रूरी है। ऐसा नहीं कि पता नहीं क्या होगा। यू आर प्लेइंग, यू आर वर्किंग, एंड ऑन द सबकॉन्शियस लेवल यू आर थिंकिंग पता नहीं क्या होगा, पता नहीं क्या होगा, हार जाऊंगा, हार जाऊंगा, हार जाऊंगा। ऐसा फील अगर चलता रहे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में, देन आई that cannot be called a fair decision. Fair decision would be something that inside. Okay, so it should be a win-win equitable task and equitable risk and reward. Follow the 11th commandment. There are 10 I think, how many commandments are there? Can anybody tell me? I just miss, I think 12 commandment is, am I right? I don't know actually. Do you know how many commandments are there in Christianity? Some of you might know as you belong to this.
10 commandments.
Ten Commandments. Okay, that also I think. So actually, this is 11th commandment, and mm, what it says that thou shall not be ashamed when found, meaning when you are hauled up over some seemingly unethical behavior, if one's conscience is clear, then there is nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, so this is the idea that we need to think about. So this unit 2 uh, left us with a number of key takeaways. Personal ethics. You can apply the personal ethics that you have learned from unit 2 in your life. Next is एक second. Huh? Hello. Yes. So what I was saying that hello. Okay. So, what I was telling that the takeaways that we can get from the unit to personal ethics, you should apply. Okay, don't don't keep these ideas or that we are discussing in the class. Try to let it out. Try to bring it out and apply in your daily life. You will find so many similarities. These are nothing different. What you read in the books, what you know from the class, what you come to learn from these classes and come to learn from yourself are nothing but very similar to our daily life actually. So try to apply personal ethics and professional ethics, moral values. What are the moral values that you practice in your mind to the outside? Applied ethics, most important, because we are reading applied ethics, ethics in business, ethics in engineering. So what are the touchstones? Honesty, integrity, and the other one, transparency. Okay, now ये सब याद रखना है. You have to remember all these things. These must come out from your mind immediately the moment question is there. Next is credibility and trusteeship. We talked about Gandhian trusteeship of ethics. We talked about Kantian goodwill. We talked about Jeremy Bentham's utilitarian approach, isn't it? So utilitarianism is good. Utilitarian approach is good. You should make use of assets. You should make use of mm, resources. Okay, make use of it for your benefit, for your interest. Invest your assets, resources for your benefit, of course, but that should not cause any kind of harm upon others. If that does not come if does not cause any kind of harm upon others, then that is utilitarian approach and a very productive approach, and that paradoxically is very much similar to trusteeship of ethics. Okay, next is unethical behavior. We talked about the roots of unethical behavior. What are the roots? What are the sources from which unethical behavior may spring up? And next is conflicting interests. What are the conflict? Many differences may come. Many differences in the opinion may come. Many clashes may come. Many tussle may happen in the workplace, in home, in mindset, even within yourself. But we need to come out of it, and you have to keep all these takeaways in mind. And so hence we complete the unit 2, and we came to know how to apply ethics, values, morals, and we can apply it only if we look around and look within. Okay, so this much for today, and we completed unit 2 of the syllabus. And the PPT I already have posted in that, PowerPoint references. page in the Google Classroom. So this much for today. Thank you. Okay. So if you have any questions or doubts, you can ask me. Anybody? कोई क्वेश्चन है कोई क्वेरी है Okay, so let me take the attendance now. Mm, Abhishek Bist, Anup Kumar, Bablu Kumar,
Present,
Sarthak.
sir.
Okay, okay. Sarthak, Amit Bind, Sahibaz, Janim, Himesh, Himesh Kamalia, Kundan, Mebin, Pankaj Nathe, Mahima, Shivang, Vishal Patel, Unnat Pathak, Om Prakash,
Present, sir.
Unnat. Okay. Om Prakash, Rahul Kumar Dubey.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rohit Pandey.
Present, sir.
Okay. Mohammad Sheikh, Adarsh Singh.
Present, sir.
Okay. Aman Kumar Singh, Nitish Singh, Swapnil Singh, Suman Shukla.
Present, sir.
Okay. Sushil Kumar, Kamal Harsh, Vivek Pal, Sankalp Patel, Vishal Kumar Patel, Jay Mohan, Jagmohan, I think. Ram Tandel,
Yes, sir.
Shivam Prakash, Vipin Yadav, Eljiva, Hemal Babaria, Bhavesh Parmar, Ethelbert,
Present, sir.
okay, Neha, Lokendra, Kesav
Present,
Jha,
sir.
Lokendra, okay, Kesav Jha, Rahul Misra, Sagar Kohli, Varunta,
Present, sir.
okay, Ritik Kumar, Hardik Patel, Deep Patel, Harsh Patel, Gautam,
Yes, sir.
okay, Yash Jadhav, Priyanka, Anup, Richa, हर्ष पटेल गुलाब भाई मयूर कुमार प्रतीक चाहत दिनेश कुमार हर्ष कुमार सिंह महावंशी प्रथम कैलेश नहीं है कौन लग रहा है मधु
Present, sir.
ओके प्रग्नेश पटेल
Yes, sir.
ओके प्रथम कितना है? 32। अच्छा। ओके। फिर ये अमन कुमार सिंह 36। शीतला प्रसाद, चिन्मय पाटिल, नीलेश बोरसे, हरीश भाई, शिवम राज, सूरज सिंह, दर्शन। Okay, so we completed the attendance now, and I think you have no question right now. But if you have, then you can ask me, or otherwise we can complete this lecture. So yeah, it's done. And today is 2nd of July, and on 5th of July is the due date of the assignment 2. Yes, okay. So okay, then take care. We'll get back in the next class. Bye.